what does this look like? We have a parametric component created in Inventor, something that would be drastically inefficient and hard to make in Revit. With all of these different versions, like I said, this only has to be created once, and all of these components can be transferred down to the Revit user. What we're doing is creating a parametric Revit family functionally through an Inventor product. And it's not just a one-off thing. This is going to be a live model. So as your Revit user is working with this, they can make changes, and those changes will be reflected based off of the constraints the manufacturing defines. This means that your architecture teams know, hey, if I need to make a change, this is actually going to work, and it's not going to result in an RFI in 2 years. So then that content is placed in the model itself, and it's going to look and operate exactly like a Revit family, because at the end of the day, it is a Revit family. It just came from Inventor. That's what the platform approach means. Once you place those in your model, then you go to the web app. You can see exactly what components were placed and what the variations of that component are. And this is going to allow you to generate accurate detailed drawings, BOMs, based off of either the individual instance of that component or the actual aggregate of those components in the model itself. You can see an example of that right here. All of that is staying in Autodesk docs. So on a larger scale, for maybe a more vertically integrated company, this means that you can change things like your level of detail and have that go through the cloud. It also means you would have much larger Inventor models whose parametrics would be hard to replicate in Revit, but you can still leverage Revit to do what Revit does best, which is functionally to create drawings. Inventor creates products, Revit creates drawings. And with Informed Design, we're going to allow you to leverage both products to their strengths. Again, you're seeing the Revit user place it from the docs via the Informed Design web app, make some changes, and insert that into the model. You can create as many variations as you want based off of one single model. So realistically speaking, one model created can have an infinite number of parameters and an infinite number of variations created from it. And this doesn't have to be super large assemblies. This can be from large to small. It's up to what the manufacturer needs and what the architect wants. We're closing the loop and making it so that we know that what we're placing in our Revit models can be designed and made. We have this whole talk about what digital twins look like, and it's great. But what if the actual Revit families themselves could be digital twins of the product component, but that wouldn't bog down the model and still are able to be parametric and work with what the manufacturer wants us to use. As you can see, we're generating these outputs, and those go directly to Autodesk docs based off of what's actually in the product and actually in the model.